why didn't they come out with this before, the fight? If they found it before, why would they let me step into the ring as a cheater and then come out with the victory and then they post this, Again,
Ryan Garcia was recently charged with utilizing urinals following his triumph against Devin Haney, in that the celebrity didn't take the claim well, but he has now replied to the boxer. Meanwhile, Garcia is being attacked by the world. Kingry faced criticism from George Kambosos Jr., who said that this was a poor reflection of the sport.
It's crazy. It's it's a bad look for Ryan Garcia. It's a bad look for the sport. I know he's coming out and trying to, say his side now, saying that he's a clean athlete.
Canelo Alvarez was one of the few who spoke up for Garcia, claiming to know him personally.
I'm surprised, yes, because I know Ryan and I don't think he doing bad things.
Conor McGregor did not remain mute, and he made some very dangerous threats directed against Ryan Garcia. In light of these most recent allegations, Ryan Garcia is facing significant consequences. To see how the boxing world responded, watch this video. After losing out on a championship title fight against Devin Haney due to his weight, Ryan Garcia may be the unluckiest boxer in the world right now. He was later found guilty of taking performance-enhancing drugs, or PEDs, during his amazing experience. Many professional boxers are screaming for Victory, the young fighter, to be banned for life and are sending him a lot of hate mail. In the meantime, Garcia has finally addressed the allegations, saying in a video that TalkSports uploaded that he thinks there is a plot to damage his name. In his public statement, Michael Benson Kingry refuted the claims that he used steroids prior to the fight and blasted the authorities for failing to disclose the results of his positive tests prior to the fight and for enabling him to act as a cheater. He described these actions as part of a plot to sabotage his victory over Devin and harm his reputation. Prior to the Devin Hayes fight, Garcia also stated that he took supplements in ashwagandha, an Ayurvedic supplement. While the effect of ashwagandha on Veda testing is unknown, veteran combat sports writer Kevin Isle, who wrote on X, claims that the amounts discovered in Garcia's system may provide insight into whether or not the levels suggest contamination from a supplement. Garcia tested positive for the banned substance ostarine twice, the day before and the day of his unexpected victory over Devin on April 20, according to a letter from the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association that was sent to both fighters and other parties involved. According to WebMD, ostarine is a class of drug known as a selective androgen receptor modulator. Although a closer look does not confirm Garcia's intention to cheat, many will read the description of the drug and immediately connect it to Garcia's unsuccessful attempts to make the 140-pound limit for the fight with Hay, which is exactly what happened. Combat sports world is furious with Garcia, and many shared their reactions after the latest update. Although the FDA has not approved it, Ganda supplements could explain why Garcia tested positive for the drug.
Voluntary Anti-Doping Association was set up for a serious purpose by serious people. They do serious testing with a scientific process. And at the moment, it appears to me that one way or another, Ryan Garcia was contaminated.
Jim Lampley chastised Garcia for testing positive and stated that he believes the Volunteer Anti-Doping Association V to be accurate and honest, stressing that V never lies. VADA is founded and managed by responsible experts who adhere to rigorous scientific procedures. Lampley emphasized that it is not acceptable to disregard the test findings indicating that Ryan Garcia's system included poop as a fabrication, which he claims degrades Garcia's latest victory has raised questions about the legitimacy and fairness of his performance. Lampley seems to be adamant that Garcia cannot possibly maintain credibility by saying that his system is clean. Despite the unfavorable news, Lampley mentioned how the public has responded to Garcia's drug incident. There is a rising desire for a rematch between Garcia and Devin Haney. In Lampley's opinion, Garcia must compete in the rematch in order to redeem himself from the scandal. Lampley considers how absurd the circumstances are, pointing out how, ironically, these kinds of disputes may heighten public curiosity, which might result in more people watching and, ultimately, bigger financial stakes for a future rematch. He concludes his remarks by pointing out how divisive topics in boxing frequently spark larger thoughts and debates. highlighting the intricate relationship between sportsmanship and the commercial sides of boxing. Meanwhile, Shane Mosley casts doubt on the veracity of Garcia's positive test results and offers an analysis of the circumstances.
I'm not really sure. I think it's kind of weird, but maybe, maybe some things that can happen, some things that show up at his test.
Mosley noted the routine procedure involving multiple drug tests, including random ones during the training camp and closer to the fight itself, raising questions about why issues weren't flagged from these if they were indeed present. He also discussed the possibility of discrepancies between what's known as A and B samples in testing, pointing out that there have been instances where an athlete passes the B sample but fails the A sample, and that sometimes no further action is taken if the B sample is clean. Mosley emphasized that the drug tests are conducted both before and after the fight, suggesting that any discrepancies or issues should have been identified and addressed before the fight. Mosley proposes that the fight's outcome be declared a no contest, which would neither benefit nor penalize either boxer based on the test result. Mosley is in favor of a ban and potential extra penalties. Additionally, Mosley raises the possibility of conflicts of interest or problems within the testing organizations and their connections to certain businesses and people in the sports world. He discusses Victor KTI's relationship with VADA, as well as the fact that KTI's firm Snack supports a number of boxers. According to Mosley, these connections may give rise to apparent prejudices or conflicts of interest in the administration of drug tests and their outcomes. Following the most recent developments in the fight between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, Canelo Alvarez also demonstrated his support for Garcia. Canelo expressed doubt about the case details, indicating that he lacked comprehensive knowledge of what transpired with Ryan Garcia. This approach suggests a desire to avoid drawing conclusions before all the facts are known. He underlined the necessity of being composed and giving Garcia the opportunity to express himself, arguing in favor of a considered approach to the circumstances as opposed to snap decisions. Canelo's position demonstrates his attitude toward patiently handling such delicate matters and holding off on making judgments until further information is available. Canelo is fully aware of what happens to a boxer once their reputation is damaged due to defeat, since he has personally experienced such a circumstance. A drug evaluation. Canelo also discusses how sportsmen deal with outside distractions and disagreements, touching on the wider ramifications of such situations in athletics. He describes his own strategy as being strong-willed and laser-focused, able to turn possible distractions to his advantage rather than allowing them to negatively impact his performance all around. In light of Ryan Garcia's failed drug test, Canelo offers a message of support that is tempered with caution. He calls for a cool-headed and well-informed assessment of the situation and supports giving Garcia the opportunity to address any concerns raised by the public until more information is available, highlighting the importance of justice and comprehension in difficult situations. Coach Bullet, a boxing trainer, also offered his thoughts on Ryan Garcia's drug test failure. Coach Bullet expressed conflicting emotions about the situation. On the one hand, he suggests that Garcia's use of PEDs would seriously damage his reputation and respect to the sport. On the other hand, he also notes that Garcia seemed worn out and not especially improved during the fight, indicating that even if Garcia did use PEDs, their intended effect was not achieved.
Now, if they're going to use that as a weapon against Ryan got to be careful because he knows the facts.
Coach Bullet also discusses the idea of the setup, commenting on the political and intricate nature of boxing oversight and rules. He also mentions Victor KTI's role in the business and raises the possibility of conflicts of interest that could affect drug testing and its results. He suggests that Garcia could be a victim of a setup, speculating that there might be more to the story than meets the eye. However, he makes it clear throughout the conversation that this is only conjecture without concrete evidence. Coach Bullet stresses the value of integrity in the sport, bemoaning the influence of politics and questionable relationships that could jeopardize the fairness of boxing matches. He advocates for openness and justice in handling these situations, urging the sport to preserve its integrity free from the influence of dishonest practices or conflicts of interest. In an interview with TMZ Sports, Victor T., who is connected to Devin, vehemently denied any involvement in Ryan Garcia's failed drug test and framed the accusations as unfounded. T also clarifies his relationship with VADA and his role as a long-standing anti-doping advocate. He recalls his history of promoting clean sports, beginning with his support for comprehensive testing protocols in 2012, when he went from being associated with the Balco scandal to becoming a vocal opponent of doping in sports. He describes his contribution to VADA as limited to introducing important figures in the anti-doping community, such as Dick Pop, the founding chairman of the World Anti-Doping Agency WADA. Ryan Garcia tested positive for ostarine, which he describes as a selective androgen receptor modulator that works similarly to anabolic steroids, but supposedly targets muscle growth more directly and safely. He goes on to explain how ostarine enhances performance by promoting muscle growth and fat loss, which makes it appealing for athletes looking for an edge in strength and recovery. However, he also notes that recent science has questioned the safety of these substances. These introductions helped VADA establish its testing capabilities in W-accredited labs. Despite this, he asserts that he has no operational or decision-making influence within VADA that could affect the results of individual drug tests regarding the substance.
And then when you do things like weight cut for a fight and you drop 10, 15, 20 pounds, okay, some of these molecules can be released and all of a sudden there's a positive drug test.
Khan also talks about the problems with drug testing, explaining how drugs like ostarine can sometimes be found based on dosage, frequency of use, and physiological processes like fat loss that can cause substances that were stored in the body to be released into the bloodstream during intense weight loss. Cuts further discusses possible contamination sources such as supplements or unethical behavior in unregulated manufacturing settings, which might cause athletes to inadvertently consume prohibited drugs. He also took issue with Garcia's team for speculating without providing evidence that the positive test may have been caused by a popular supplement like ashwagandha. Victor Kide basically claims that Ryan Garcia did use drugs prior to the bout. Since Devin works with Kai, we're not sure if this is his way of favoring Devin, but what do you think? If Ryan Garcia fights again, should he be disqualified for failing his drug test? That's all for today. Please let us know in the comments and don't forget to like and join the channel. We appreciate your attention and hope to see you in future videos. Turn on the bell to receive the most recent alerts so you never miss out on videos like this one.